we're up to Reshut Ches, which I would say would be matim if the summon was Reshut Ches was a Reach, but you can remember where we are by Reach is right after the summon. So anyway, it's all stuff about Nisim. No one sees a specific place where the Nisim for Yisrael was done. Kigoin Marbos Hayam, you find where, if you know where Yamsuf was. Marbos Yarden, where they crossed the Yarden. Marbos Nachle Arnon. Avnei Algabish shall base Choron. If you find the Avnei Algabish, which is some say it was the Barad, some say it was meteors. I don't know exactly in Beis Choron. The Evan Shabikesh Og Lizvorg Al Yisrael. If you know where the mountain is that Og wanted to throw in, Sheyashar Al Moshe Beis Bechemas Amalek Bechomas Yericho. Nevar She'asa Nitzin Avaseinu Makom Hazet. Uvein Brachos Zu Uvein Shar Brachos Hariya. Hein Kashar Brachos Kulam Baskar Shem Amachos. Any from now on until the next number of Simanim, Safa Birchos Hariya, or Abba Shem Amachos. The discussion is, the thing is that the post can say is, we don't know exactly where these things are. So there's a Shaila, Mtzira B'Shol says that if you go up in an airplane and you see, Bikas Yarden, so can you make the bracha? Because it's definitely some point over there. Or Chopanim until Yericho, Be'erech around the first half of the Yarden until Yericho, or you go to Mitzvah Yericho, you can see the whole area, or you can see Yericho. So he says, you can make a bracha then, because you're obviously seeing the spot. Other places can say, no, you have to actually go to the spot where it actually happened, and that we don't know. So, if you see the whole, Bikas Hayarden, whatever, that Chetzi, whatever it is, so you say without Shem Malchus, that's what they bring down. Or if you go on a plane and you see the whole, you see a big area of the Amsuf or whatever, you can make it, you could say the bracha without Shem Malchus, so something like that. On Neis Shenasa the Ksas Yisrael, on a Neis which happened to part of Klal Yisrael, Chagol Zman Shel Nasa the Chol Yisrael, or Ruban, a few Nasa the Ksas Shvatim, even in the Makom that happened for some of the Shvatim, Ein Mevarchin, Allah, that doesn't get a bracha of La'avaseinu, not saying La'avaseinu, B'makom Hazeh. Ha'elu Advarim Einam Ela Kishavaya Oisam Yishloshim Nashloshim. It's all these things, in any Birchos Riyah, only if you see it every 30 days. The Mishnah Paskins is a machlekes whether it means 30 days means you count the day after, you count the day you saw it. Mishnah Taka seems to paskin that you start from the next day and count 30 days. Fine. Haraya makom shenas nes yachid enum avarich. If you see a place that a nes happened to a yachid, then you don't make a bracha on that. But the person who nes happened to could say the bracha she'asa li nes v'makom hazeh. Now we're going to see the Gemara of what a nes is in a couple sifim. But if taka nes happened to a person, then they have to say, they have to say, he should say a bracha and his kids should say a bracha. I don't know, they say a 4 dollars, maybe something like that. But, right. We should also nisim harbe. Let's say someone had a bunch of nisim. When he gets to a place where the nisim occurred, that you have to be mazkir every other, all the other place in one thing. For example, just an easy example, someone who was during the Holocaust was Nitzoli Shoah, a lot of them could probably make a bracha. That's what bring down. You go to the camps and how they survive. All these things happen, people to survive, things like that. And a lot of people had these nisim throughout the whole war to survive. So if they saw one place, they should make a bracha on they should nichla all the places, in his mind, all the places that, what should he say? He said that the Mishnah is not to ask all makomos, but But you only have to, he says, whatever. You should say, whatever. You got if you have 100, I don't know, but it'll probably happen in a few places, and you should maskir, makom hazeh, and then, whatever, that you should maskir. Aneshel Rabbo Tzarech Levarech Hashem Ki Mevarech Aneshel Aviv. If the nace happened to his Rebbe, then he should bracha like the nace of his father. Hagal Yisharim Dehu Adin Im Roy Ha'adam Shenasu Lo Nace. If you see the person where a nace happened to him, Mevarech Alok Moshe Mevarech Al Hamakom Shenasu Bo Hanes. That you can make a bracha that on the person that happened, the nace happened to. The Mishabura said you should Messiah she'asa nace l'adam hazeh baruch she'asa l'chanes. You should at least make some bracha. Shem Malchus, again, we're going to get into some we'll see what the gather is. On nace she'adam masuyim, on the nace what happened to a specific person, ki Yoav ben Tzruya v'chareirav, ched al nace she'adam she'niskadish v'shem shemayim al Daniel v'chareirav v'chadam v'shal Zaria v'varech. And you can make a bracha. If you know where the Glova Arayos of Daniel is, you can make a bracha. Or the Kivshan Ha'esh. If you know where the Kivshan Ha'esh of Aravinu is, you can make a bracha. Leficha Haror Glova Arayos of Daniel, Kivshan Ha'esh of Chanam Shem Zar. He says, Chanam Shem Zar, Mevarach She'asa Neis Tzadikim B'makom Hazeh. Mevarach Ishto Shalot, Mevarach Shtayim. Aleha Oimer Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech Haolam Dayan HaEmes. Now, we don't exactly know which pillar of salt in the south of the Dead Sea is Asia Slow, even if all the tour guides say, yeah, that's it, or there's a sign, but we don't really know, so, we don't really make the bracha, but if for some reason there was a Messiah, and you knew, this is the pillar, then you would guess you would make two brachas. Some say you can only make a bracha on a nace which was Yotzi from the regular Gidvei Oilam. A nace minig Oilam is something which happened derech teva k'gon shebal Gadavim b'layla uvalidei sakana v'nitzol. Right, Gadavim came, they tied him up, and and then pitom a police car was passing by, and they heard a noise, and they went in, and whatever, these types of things. That's derech teva. Even it's like, wow, shkacha pratis, whatever, but like. That's something you don't make a bracha on. The Yotzei B'Zav Einu Chayiv Levarich. V'Yishcholek, and they'll say no. Even that, it was still like a specific hashkacha pratis. So you should make a b'tov levarich b'loskar sheva malchus, unless it's something which is clearly way the lashon of the Taz in the next siman says something which is clearly etzber elokim. We can point out and say, wow, if I say, for example, yeah, well, even more than nowadays. Even nowadays, plane crash by the World Trade Center. If you ever read the book about the Hatzalah, I read it once. The one how they were saved by during the World Trade Center crash and what they were doing. I mean, these things are a pell. One of them was in the building when they under the building when they collapsed, and hey, mamish needs people were dying around them, firemen and things, and so afterwards, the police captain said, the fire chief said, okay, how many people did you lose? To the head of Hatzalah, he said, we didn't lose any. He said, your God watches over you. So that's Etzber Elokim. That's the case of mamish Etzber Elokim, that it was, that's like Yotzei in a claw, people that's, so those types of things. So if one of the Hatzalah guys or his kids would go to the World Trade Center, would make a bracha, would make a bracha. I was speaking with Miller, and he said that he mentioned that Rav Yosef is much more makel when it came to making brachas on Nisim. Mishabur was more makel. Rav Yosef was more machmer. Mishabur seems to have a broader thing to make a bracha. Or some brachas l'halkel, a person like Yitzhak Shoah, a lot of times can make it. Say from a car crash, you mamish were untouched, things like that. It could be, a person can make a bracha, but something which was there, mamish, derech hateva, which, like I said, suddenly someone, happened to open the door and that saved you, or whatever. Those types of things, you wouldn't say Shem Malachos, but you should make a bracha on those things. Right. And one more nakuda is that we're going to next siman is about Brachos Hagomel, that even on the things which you don't make a Brachos Hanisim, but you should, if there was again, also Brachos is only if there was sakanos nefashos, not like it's only $1 million, but if mamash sakanos nefashos, or like someone paid your chov, not that. It means mamash sakanos nefashos. But even if it's something which is derech teva, so you still have to make Hagomel. The post in the crowd, they say, okay, there's one level of Hagomel, and then Nisim is where it's mamash l'malam and a teva. That's together. So let's see the Brachos Hagomel. Four people need to be moida, and this is what you should do. Bring a korban toida. Yor the yam kishalu mimenu if they cross the sea. Hochi b'dbario shegiel liyishuv. They went through a midbar when they came to a settlement, a city, whatever. Misha hayachoyle in this rapeh. Misha hayachovish v'isa asurim v'yatza. V'siman v'chol hachayim yoducha sela chovish yisurim yam midbar. Now there's a big discussion what's included in all these things. The Hochi Barios, it doesn't mean like you drive across the Mojave Desert in California to the Grand Canyon or to Las Vegas. I don't think it means that. Because the issue with the Barrios is or you drive down to Eilat. It means that there's actually some sort of sakana or some sakana involved listim of not just midbar that it's like you're out stuck in the middle of Sahara, but it means it's a place where there are listim, chayasros, things like that. So even if it's not like in an actual desert, but midbar also just means out in the wilderness. Person got lost in the wilderness, and it could be also he would make a goimel mitzad that.
So why is driving down to Eilat different than flying to Europe?
Flying. We'll talk about flying in a second. Flying to machlokes batson.
Right. There are some places.
Yeah, some say, so it depends how you understand. Some say the issue is sakana, right, listim and stuff. So, some folks can say that as long as you know the people on the plane, it's not a plane which is going to be hijacked, so then you don't have to make a bracha. However, Moshe says you do make a bracha because he compares it to Yordei Hayam, because he says the difference is that you're in a place, what's the Kiddush of Yordei Hayam, is that if your boat sinks, person can't live in the water. For a little bit, maybe you can swim, but it's not a makom person can, survive. So to an airplane, the airplane sinks, the air is not a place a person can survive. It's the same, he compares it to Yordei Yam, therefore he says you should make a bracha.
You're already placing yourself in a makom sakana period.
He says it's mamish the same thing. You're in the air, you're in the water, it's the same exact thing mamish. Question, I don't know, I don't know what the meaning is from England to here. People make a bracha? I think so, yeah.
Across the ocean, it's there.
Yeah, people, so that's the thing, is people say,
I think it depends on the place. Like, I have a very, very question with a friend, I don't want to say the name of the law. Ask him, no, he doesn't bench friend when he gets on the period.
right, I know people who, yeah, so that's the thing, some people say only from Eretz Yisrael to America because you cross the ocean, they sort of, it started from Moshe Shita and the idea of crossing the ocean to, but Lamaisa, I mean, if a plane crashes into a mountain also is an issue, so, I remember Moshe's Taina, so if you know it like this, it's fine. I don't know, if you take a short flight to Cyprus or something, I don't know.
Still crossing.
Yeah, you're still crossing. It could be you do. I could remember Moshe, it could be you would, but I don't know, you go by the month of the minig, I don't know what the minig is.
Ask your Lord.
Yeah. Fine. Imam Avarech, what bracha do you make? Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam, hagomel l'chaim tab'os. Sheglalani kol tov, that you make a hagomel, kol tov. Also, with illness, it's also something only you had actual sakana, not that if you had corona, you'd make hagomel, or not. People did. Depends how sick you were. But not every person who had it, should make it. Even for the potential to die. Okay, but that doesn't. He wasn't sick enough. Someone who's mamish for lamita, and then he would make it. So he said, "Kol tov." Show only me gemalcha kol tov. Hu gemalcha kol tov. Sela. Right. So that's how you answer. Tarech levarich brachos. Gemalcha kol tov. Sela. I mean that's what the nikud here. That's how the nikud is check.
There's cold in both times.
Yeah. Not called two as far as I know. Tzarech levarech brachos zu b'fnei asara. It has to be in front of 10 people. It should be 2 people who are at least Talmid Chachamim to some extent. If Steve, Hirohu b'kal am uv'moshav zakeni and yihaluhu. V'im lo shchichi rabbanim. If you don't have, rabbanim, you're not. That's why on Shabbos they'll have the Rav, you have whatever. Lo yaneach v'levarech. Don't. Okay, that's not leikuv. It's a chachila. It's not leikuv. V'nagul levarech achar kriyas hatayra. The minyan is to make a bracha after kriyas hatayra. If you sham asara, because that's when usually there's the minyan. V'im beirach v'pachos me asara. If you bring a bracha with al asara, yesh omer sheyatza. Don't say yoytza. Yesh omer shelo yatza. The tov lachzu levarech v'fnei asara. V'lo etzkar Hashem amalchus. Now, Lamaisa is a weird. Ashkenazim generally are knowing to be are knowing only to make a bracha like a certain specific count, whatever. I know that Sfarad Joseph said you can make a Hagomel on many different things. Like they make a bracha much more often. Yeah, okay. Then we're gonna get to that. Yeah, we're gonna get to that in a second. We'll discuss it in a second. There are people who do. We'll get to that in a minute. In Berach Acher v'Ana Bracha Tashekel Malachari Lama Shekel Malachal Kol Tov v'Ana Amen Yatza. If someone made a bracha for someone else, then the Yotzi. Im Amar Baruch Rachmana Malachal Da'alma Yavechlan v'Ana Amen Yatza. Nagav Einzu Bracha Levatala Bin Lemavarech. It's not a bracha Levatala. Afal Bishalo Dischai Bracha Zu. He's not Mechayev, but he says it for someone else. Hova Einu Mevarech Rakter Shvach V'Hida. Al Toibes Chaveiro. He's very happy. Now, they do discuss women after birth. It is one of the things that they do make a bracha. There are a couple different, minhagim, that one is the husband makes the bracha, which is brought down. Now, the Orach Chaim says, he has a lot of questions. He says, I don't understand why people don't make a bracha, but the meaning is not to make a bracha. In Europe, the meaning was not to make a bracha. However, the poskim do say women can make a bracha. One of the ideas of husband can make a bracha for his wife. Especially they say that the wife goes to shul and she sits there as nashim chances amen is enough. Some say that some do it by kiddush. The woman, the wife itself, will say it. People leaving the kiddush will say it. That's also okay. That's also people do that. Some say Hagomel Ishti instead of Hagomel Chaim Tova because it's Ishto Kagufo. That you put your wife, you say Ishti when you make the bracha. So there are definitely minhagim, like I said, ish v'yesh. Some people, they miss it. They don't say it didn't work out. The wife can't make it to shul, and he forgot. These things, okay, it is that sort of a chiyuv, but it's sort of one of these things which, if it didn't happen, then Seder, it didn't happen. Like I said, our Shulchan says the minhag wasn't to do it, even if it makes sense to. In Berach Echad Hagomel La'atzma v'Niskamin L'Hotzi Etz Chaveiro Shama Chaveiro V'Chivin Lotzes Yalza. Right? If you have a whole bunch of people to get up, feel Lo Nios Amen. Yoshevarach Ramken Chayotza Apel Lo Nios Amen. I know there are some yeshivas where one person makes a Hagomel. People boys come back after Pesach, and sit there. You have 50 boys saying Hagomel. I think there are some yeshivas where like one bacher says Hagomel for everyone, which makes a lot more sense. Sometimes you stand there for 20 minutes. You have 30 people make Hagomel. Then have one person and Tichad Tzibura. Im Echar, if you forgot to do it, Yeshua Tashum Levarach Holzvan Shiyirtze. You could do it at any point in time. You should do it right away. Like I said, when a woman gives birth, usually it's not shy. People do it by a kiddush, people do it by a bris, people, things like that. But in general, a person after he flies, he does make a Hagomel, then he should do it within 3 days. If you're in Germany, in France, the meaning was not to make a bracha me'ir le'ir. Shelo chivu ela b'holchem idbaros. It's very common to have chayos varos and listim. But going from city to city, even if sometimes they were bandits, but it wasn't, a fia matzav. It's the time of the Rishon, it wasn't as common. It was Farad in Spain, Noagin Levarich, Nishakol Hadrachim Chesed Sakana. all the Drachim Cheskos Sakana, Miyu, Brachos Viparsa Einu Mavarach, a person goes less than a parsa, Einu Mavarach, Imu Macha Muchsak Vasakana B'Yoser, Afil Brachos Viparsa. The question is if you drive through Ramallah, Shechem, you drive through Shechem, and whatever, do you make Hagomel? I don't know, Nishlodun. Definitely without Shem and Malchus. The question is, if you put yourself in, I guess, yeah, even if it's in the Makom Sakana, you still make, because the person who crosses the sea, he makes. If a person has to go through the Shtachim for whatever reason, or he has to, he has to go ahead in America and go through a bad, go cross through a bad neighborhood. I had a friend once, he got stuck in the right before Shabbos, he was trying to get to YU, and he got stuck in there was traffic, whatever, and he got stuck in the Bronx. So he walked 3 hours through the Bronx to YU. Brave soul. So, it could be like a Hagomel on that, I don't know. Any choli you have to make a bracha, even though it's not choli shal lo maka shal chalal, and a kol shal lemita v'yaret. Shulchan Aruch holds that only if even if a person was sick, he had the flu, I don't know, if they should kami she'alu l'gardum, pirush malos she'oisin dayanim l'dun, since it was like a zman divain hefesh ben yeshlo meichosh kavua bal zman, if a person has some sort of illness that comes here to there, bein ein she'ena kavua. So, according to the Mechaber, you can make a bracha on anything a person goes to the meter. If a person is he's under a matzav of bezin, of a dinam shemayim, so he makes a bracha. Haga, v'yish omin de'enu mevarach rak al choli sheyish bo sakana. The Ramah says that we only make a bracha on choli sheyish actually has sakana. Macha shechalal. Hey, you get stabbed, shot, something like that. Therefore, by Ashkenazim, they only make a Hagomel, a person was mamish at Sakanos Nefashos. Not the flu. Unless the person's old, maybe, I don't know, whatever. Hani Arba Lavdafka. These 4 cases of Lavdafka. Who are the Mishanasa Lunes, Mishanafa Olav Kaisel. Something in this happened, that a wall fell on him, Onitza Medvis was sure in the Guchosav, he was stuck in the running of the bulls in Spain, and he survived, I don't know, whatever. Shamar Alav, Be'ir Arya the Tarfo, a lion attacked, he chased him, Im Ganavim Bolo, Im Shodei Laila, Nitza Mahem, he was in the big city going through an alley and the people chased him. Something, it's only these 4 cases. The told the varich v'lo shame and malchus. If a person's saved from any danger, then you should say without a shame and malchus. However, the Shabur Paskins, like the Svar Rishon, that you actually could do it with Shem and Malchus if you're mamish bisakana. You're mamish in bisakana, that you can do Shem and Malchus. Like I said, the Taz says the chiluk between this and the Nes, that this is their Chateva. Even if you escaped, people were chasing you down the street, and you escaped it, whatever, that would be Hagomel, but you wouldn't make Ahanes unless you were miraculously saved, that I don't know, whatever the case would be, I don't know, a door opened up suddenly in front of you, you jump in, I don't know, whatever it would be, something Me'al Teva. I'll do a couple more. Atabas Chalom, that's Reish Chav. Atabas Chalom. Orach Chaim, V'nafsho Gumalov. Someone sees a dream and he's very sad about it. Yetivenu ba'aplei tlasa derachimule. He should go for 3 people, who are his friends, who support him. Elema ba'apaya chelma tova chazai. Elema inu tava lahave. They should say tava. The Shulchan points out that, the chaloms we have nowadays, either person said about it, most of it's shtos. Either person, he said, we're not on the madrega that we're going to go ahead and have a dream, which is a pure dream. Most of the times it's stuff about you worry about during the day, or people nowadays, if they eat a lot, they get bad dreams. My mother said if you eat cheese or something before you go to sleep, you get bad dreams, things like that. I don't know. There's different reasons. He said, we're not really on madrega that you can have a bad dream. It's actually a bad dream. Even if you have a nightmare, it's because of anxiety, because of things, whatever. It's not an actual, possible navu or something, that something bad's going to happen. So you don't have to worry about it so much. A person's really bothered, okay, fine, do it. It's no shame Hashem. A person he can't sleep, he can't, or if it happened, or if the same dream came on him twice, it's also something which, same exact dream, which obviously doesn't happen often, well, sometimes it happens, then maybe a person can worry about it more. Yafa, Tanis, Levatul Chalom, Raka Eish L'Naris. Tanis is good, Tanis Chalom is a great way to Levatul Gzeira from in the Chalom. You should fast that day of Yom Shabbos. I understand Rish Peiches about whether you should do that. Let's see if we can cover the next thing. It's also very easy. Im hayu Brachos hodas geshamim. Im hayu betzar machmas atzivas geshamim yardu geshamim. The person was betzar. There's a drought and there was no, and suddenly the rain came. Mevarchen aleim aval bishalo yardu adayin k'dei revia. Even if it didn't rain enough, but the fact there's rain, make a bracha. Mishiyardu kol kach shirabu alaretz. Enough that it is natural, not a drizzle, but actual rain. Mashiyalu aleim avabuos mina maltar. You see that it's hitting. It's strong enough that there's like bubbles on the ground. There's strong enough rain that then you make a bracha. Go masha ein anu nogim mizman hazeh because l'kshamim mishum de medinas eilu tadirim l'kshamim ein anu etzarim kol kach. However, places like, in Eretz Yisrael, if there's a drought, droughts happen. I mean, Los Angeles, almost always in drought. So any rain is a simcha. You can make a bracha. They say here also, it's a Tziras Geshamim and there's no rain until halfway through the winter and it starts raining, then, not saying like, it's a certain shim when you start saying the tefillas, but there are some years that Mamish didn't rain or Kimat didn't rain at all, so they actually rain, and you would make this bracha. Mama varech ein lo sada, if he doesn't have a field. Oymer modi v'nachti l'cha Hashem Elokeinu akol tipa v'tipa sherat alanu. V'ilu finu malay shira kayam. I guess the nusach is brought in the Torah or whatever. Ad hein yodu b'varcha shimcha malkeinu v'choysim merchat Hashem kel roiv ha'oidois. If you do on the sada b'shutfus, mevarech hatov v'meitiv. Then you also say hatov v'meitiv. If ein lo shutf b'sada, mevarech shechianu. Then you say shechianu. Hagal yesh orim shomea sheyardu gesham mevarech hatov v'meitiv. Even if you only heard that it rained, your person was stuck inside, or he didn't know about it, or heard that it rained, or someone called him a chutzar. By the way, mamash rain, Baruch Hashem, your field's going well. So you make a shechianu on that as well. Okay, we'll stop here.